Now the Area 58's have a Bluetooth speaker ready to hear the vocals here. So what you're going to hear is looped. I think looped like at least 5 times. So max out your volume if you can, and then back it off. And tell me what you hear after I play this. I'll start it from the beginning now. Okay. What did let's start with you, Priscilla. What did you hear?
Mm-hmm.
Could you hear that?
You heard primate sounds? Okay. What did you hear, Rowan?
I thought I was hearing little knocks, but this is my
Okay.
good ear, bad ear.
Okay. Allie, what did you hear?
From when I listened to it the very first time you shared it with me, I heard it like a ha whoo, and then a series of a few knocks following.
Okay.
I'd
And
have to listen.
Steve, you were able to hear that, or does it coming in clear?
I really only hear bass.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a thing with my ears. I didn't,
Okay.
I
Well,
did
this will
not
be
hear
interesting then. Maybe I'm hearing something that is better heard through headphones. Jeremiah, you and I are kind of on the same page. We can hear. What do you hear?
So I hear something. It's definitely it's not lower, it's higher. There's some sort of rhythmic hitting like a stick or something, and maybe even, as was said before, something that might even sound primate. It's definitely got a rhythm to it,
Right.
if you listen to it over and over.
Okay. So what I hear something that goes ha ha ho ho somale. Okay, and as it says this word or this phrase, you hear 3 or 4 wood knocks that happen as it's speaking. So let me play it again for you here. Now that I've totally give you some biased ears, but this is what I hear, and I wonder if people in the audience will hear that too. Let's play it again. Okay, so we played that. Now let me play you part 2 here. Now you're going to hear not only that sound, but you're going to hear an accompanying sound with it, I believe. And we'll talk about that accompanying. Let me see if this is it. This is the EVP.
Mm.
Wow.
Jeremiah, can you hear that okay?
Yeah. Would you be able to play it one more time,
let's
please?
start it from the beginning. Can the Area 58's hear it?
Okay.
Yes.
Clearly
Okay,
says
so
yes.
this is the audio that Andrew recorded with his phone upside down in the field that you sent me. And so this is inexplicable audio close to source, and you can't see what's happening. So that's why we're calling it an EVP. And so let's play it again. Okay, so here's what I hear on. Well, you guys tell me what you hear. Let's go back to the gang here and tell me what you guys hear. Allie, what do you hear in that audio?
It sounds to have like a cadence to it, like it is saying something, but I can't make out any specific words.
Okay, but you hear a voice.
In the first part, and then the last part almost sounds kind of mechanical to me in a way, but or like
Okay.
I don't know, like something getting shifted or moved.
You couldn't tell what it said?
No.
I clearly heard it say, "Get in the van and leave." Clearly what it said.
Jeremiah, what did you hear?
So, Tobe, this is gonna. I don't know how this is gonna make things do for you editing. This is actually not the Andrew audio at all.
Okay, so that's
This
that's
is
okay. We don't need to edit. Let's
yeah,
just clarify whose audio is this, because you didn't know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
going to play.
Right. From what I remember, this is audio that I picked up when I was going through everything I recorded when I was up in Oak Hole with the film crew the first night I was in Oakridge, and this was captured, and it's very strange. Yeah, this is that audio.
Okay, so this is audio you recorded. How did you record it?
This would have been recorded using a Insta360 Ace Pro, which is pretty much another version of a GoPro.
Okay, so you can record it with a camera. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. So here's what I hear. Let me play it again. So it has a breathy quality to it. When I hear it, to my recollection, it sounds like something is speaking. It's saying something kind of with a breathy, and again, as you were saying, Allie, kind of a synthesized quality, which is familiar territory for the Almoon area. But now we're not there. We're back in the Oak Hole, some hour drive away. Okay. So the reason I thought this was maybe fun for us to all listen to here was not only to listen to stuff that you guys have already heard, but I think I hear something being said not only with your camera, Allie, but I think it's saying the same thing on Jeremiah's camera.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's the same phrase over and over here. And I wanted us to break this down and have you guys review it here. So I have it looped. I think it's going to start with Allie's camera footage and then yours, Jeremiah. And I'm going to make the argument here that it's saying the same phrase, whatever it is. You guys hear that?
I think that we need headphones for this one.
Okay. Okay.
I hear rain.
Yeah. Because
Okay. The rain's overshadowing.
Yep.
Okay. Jeremiah,
But,
are you
yeah.
hearing the same phrase over?
I am hearing a lot of rain in one of the repeated ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the phrase that I hear here, and I can't clear out the rain, at least I don't know how to. I think I hear this phrase samate or samalate. And I think we can actually kind of see the breakdown here in spectrograms start to happen. So let me go over here to this video. Okay. Was that, could you hear that at all?
Steve stepped away. He said that there was a similar cadence to it, kind of like I said there was a cadence to the previous
Right.
one. Yeah, and
Okay.
that time I could almost kind of hear what he was saying, the similar cadence to it. But I
Yeah,
can't, without headphones, make out the specifics.
Okay. Jeremiah, was that any more clear?
I would say the most similarity that I could definitely pick up was the cadence was very, very similar, as was just said. It's
whatever the
same
phrase
thing.
is, it's close and sounding like the word to me, samalate. Now this is where Scott Nelson territory, but we don't have Scott here to listen to this, and he may not even think it's worth listening to. But anyway, I'll send this audio off to Dave Ellison thinks what he says as far as having a morphine stream, whether or not it's even worth his time. But I think, and I'll play it one more time here and see if you guys are any closer to hearing what I'm hearing. Okay, so that's the audio I wanted to share with you.
Well, I'll
You
tell you what I think it sounds like.
Tell me what you think, Jeff Roan.
It sounds like son of a bitch, we're out of beer.
Whatever pareidolia of the liver is, I think we might have it right.
Yeah.
I think what you guys are picking up on is so familiar to me as it pertains to the crossover between. Well, first of all, it harkens back to what Henry Franzoni talked about, which is the layer cake effect, where you're recording audio off of video, or you're recording video off of audio, and you don't know how to find it unless you review the F out of it and look for it. And so this is your challenge, right? Is now you guys got to get in the review mode and dig in deeper here, because I think Jeremiah, you would agree that they're probably in a really good spot to have constant activity that is so rare generally to be studied this way. And I think that you have vocalizations and language in your audio, and I think they're happening in the same way that they happened in Cottage Grove. And wouldn't it be cool is if you guys could somehow bring Cottage Grove and Oakridge together and study them far apart, but bring back similar phenomena that communicates with one another? Because I think that's possible, where you guys can have apports show from Cottage Grove and communicate with the Oak Hole, right?
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
Any thoughts here, guys?
I think that I need to take the task cam that someone so generously gave to me and put the little hot ones, the hand warmers on it, and maybe leave it up there overnight.
The hot one. I want you to put chicken wings on it. And just
Chicken
leave
wings,
it
okay. They gotta have a lot of spice to
Yeah.
hold the heat.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm a little bummed out that you guys didn't hear what I hear, and now I'm wondering whether or not I'm crazy. But I think with headphones on, you guys, when you go back and review this video here, you probably hear a little bit better of what was happening. People comment below, say, T-Dog smoking something, because we don't hear it either. I think it's a fair argument. It could very well be. I just want to know if I'm going nuts. I think you guys picked up on an EVP, but I think at the same time, Allie, I think you recorded proof that Sasquatch is doing exactly what Steve described. It's presenting wood knocks as a bioacoustic biological thing that's happening. So as it was speaking, we can't say it's Bigfoot, but a human doesn't do that unless they're from some, tribe. And I don't think that was the case there. I think you're recording the sound of wood knocks happening within that vocalization, and they're not wood knocks. They're what had been long discussed as being lung sounds or tongue clicks or some kind of vocalization.
Grouse don't talk.
Yeah. What'd he say?
Regardless of what it said, grouse don't talk.
That's right. Okay. Well, let's get to the important place and the important stuff here, Priscilla and Steve. You guys have a new venture going on. I want to talk to you about that venture in particular. This glorious place that you're speaking now is open for business. It's called Area 58 in Oakridge, Oregon. And why is it called Area 58, Priscilla?
Because I am documenting all things paranormal, any encounters that people want to come in and tell their story.
And we're on Highway 58.
Yes, and we're on Highway 58, which is why it's Area 58.
Kind of a parody on Area 51. See how that works?
Yeah.
But if you look it up on Google Maps, it doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but it's easy to spot because you got this beautiful sign up there that's hanging on both sides of the freeway, so people can go right to Dairy Queen. They can get a Frosty, and then can they
Yeah,
come in with their
right next to
Frosty?
Dairy Queen.
Can they come in with their Blizzard?
It probably shows up as
Yeah.
Bigfoot's real estate, but we don't do real estate because it sucks.
Okay.
They'll flip
Yeah.
that blizzard upside down for you.
And so,
There you
do you have hours of operation at all, Priscilla?
Yeah, Monday through Friday, 11 to 3.
Also contact us on Facebook Messenger and we'll show up.
Yeah. If you message me or call me, my number is 541-731-4673. If I'm not at the office, I live 2 minutes away.
Okay.
So I'll come down, but I'll try to
And
be
you
here as Monday through Friday.
and you have a YouTube channel.
Yes, Area 58 Museum. It's my YouTube channel, and I have like 12 interviews scheduled already. I have just a few that have been uploaded. Yesterday is a exciting one that I want to get edited and get it up there. A guy who's been abducted since he was 5 and has had, continuous visitations.
Pretty amazing.
So yeah, and that'll be my next one that I'm uploading.
And
I
these
have
guys are
several
willing to
interviews.
go on camera and have their video of their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I have some interviews even of law enforcement that they want to remain anonymous, but that will be uploaded soon too.
Okay. All right. So that's 11 to 3, Monday through Friday. Otherwise, you can get a hold of her at the phone number that she mentioned. Also, coming up here in July on the 11th and the 12th, the best Saturday or Friday and Saturday that anyone can think of is the Sasquatch Summerfest in Oakridge, Oregon, right at the, what's the name of the park where this is going to be held?
Waters Park.
Okay. And if people want to
Oakridge.
buy tickets, they can go to sasquatchsummerfest.com and get tickets, or you can go to the Area 58 Museum in the future and buy tickets the day of as well. You have great speakers, including Don Monroe. If you haven't heard Don or met Don Monroe, you really haven't met a Bigfooter. This guy is all about it here. He's got the buckskin knife between his teeth for a reason. Of course, Rich Germeau, ex-duty officer, police officer that saw Sasquatch on duty as well as off duty. Jason Kenzie, worldwide filmmaker. Jill Rimmensnyder, Brett Eichenberger, director and producer of A Flash of Beauty. And this year, also A Flash of Beauty Part 3 and Voices in the Wilderness. And the stuff that they're digging up about what really happened in the high Sierras. You guys all got a sneak peek when you're at Olympic Strange Days as far as a long-term interview, but the stuff that they're finding out now is even crazier. Dr. Simeon Hine of Dark Matter Monsters will be there. MK Davis, who actually was the proprietor, he was the originator of breaking down the PG film, the Patterson-Gimlin film, and kind of giving it a new life, right, by understanding of what you're looking at visually. And then, of course, Dr. Robert Alley will be there of Rainforest, Bigfoot, a Rainforest Sasquatch, and Christy Sanders, a local, or not a local, is she not local, is she? She's a researcher from where?
She lives up in Portland, and she had worked for a BFRO.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. So you can find tickets there at Sasquatch Summerfest. And then, of course, I've got my deal once a month. You can wander into a haunted bar in Port Townsend, Washington. You can find us there each and every month, every third Wednesday of the month. We just got done talking about abductions with a local MUFON investigator by the name Maureen Morgan, and she interviewed an abductee, a father and son, that were taken at separate times and confided in each other at a Dunkin' Donuts. It's quite a story. By now, I don't know if my channel is actually releasing weekly stories, but that's coming to you. Olympic Strange Days will be a weekly show, and we'll be looking into the quirky, the strange, the bizarre, the taboo. You don't know where you'll find us on the Olympic Peninsula, but periodically we'll be working with our friends, including the folks here at Area 58. Before we go,
MUFON stand for?
what's that?
What does MUFON stand for?
Mutual UFO Network, I think.
Okay, now do they still do that, like in Oregon?
They do it all over.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they would be a good resource to tap into. In fact, you probably have MUFON investigators out your way and don't even know it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
my interview yesterday, he was asking, he was looking for MUFON.
Okay.
And it was the first time I had heard of it. He said that he was having trouble contacting them. So I was just wondering
Yeah.
if they were.
I contacted them a few years back. And I had a UFO report, and the person I was emailing back and forth just never got back to me after one or two emails. So I don't know how on it they are right now, but
Maybe we'll be the new MUFON.
yeah.
Jeremiah, you do a little bit of plugging here. What's going on with you?
Absolutely. So, Jeremiah from Bigfoot Society podcast. So, if you like my show where you hear from people that are experiencing Bigfoot every day, then you definitely want to follow the Area 58 Museum YouTube channel. It's very similar as you get these raw, just incredibly visceral reports that are coming right to the museum. I love it so much. And if you want to meet me, this is one of the 3 places that you'll be able to meet me in 2025. So definitely, if you can get to Sasquatch Summerfest, I would definitely appreciate it and recommend it. But yeah, Bigfoot Society on all platforms. You can check me out there. So
awesome. Now, the last thing that we wanted to talk about here is maybe a cautionary tale.
Yes.
And it comes from Jeremiah and myself here. We talked about power spots, but if you've been paying attention to what's going on with veterans that are making claims at the VA regarding injury due to contact with the phenomena or UAPs or UFOs. So that means that the government's writing checks to vets for injury for being around the phenomena. And so I lump Sasquatch and the phenomena in with this UAP stuff. Okay. And so Jeremiah, you went into this place called the Oak Hole sometime in July. You called me shortly afterwards, and then you said, "Hey man, I'm having a hell of a time here. Something happened." And I said, "Well, how bad?" And you said, "Pretty bad, like I was in ER." And they gave you kind of a strange response as to the type of injury you sustained. And I don't know if you want to take that up from where I left off.
yeah. So when I was out there in Oakridge for that week, I started to notice right off the bat from the first night that my legs were starting to become both bruised and swollen. And as we got through the week, it became hard to walk on them. It just got worse and worse and worse to the point where I was doing a interview on my last uh, before the last day there, and I was interviewing a wilderness guide, and we finished the interview, and at the end he looked down and he's like, "You need to go to the ER immediately." And I was like, "Why? What's the matter?" He's like, "What's up with your legs?" I was like, "Well, they hurt." And he's like, "Dude, you have a serious infection. You need to like drop everything and go." So I ended up having to cancel the rest of my interviews in town. I went out to on the way out to Eugene, and the doctors out there they had no idea what was going on. They'd never seen anything like it. They immediately put me on the strongest antibiotics they had, and it was just it was a very, very scary thing. I've been through some painful medical things, and that was up there with the things I've experienced in my past. When I went to my doctor back in Iowa, I didn't say anything about Bigfoot, but I explained, and he's like, "I have no idea what's going on with these." So there's doctors in Oregon, there's doctors in Iowa, have no idea. I think he ended up saying that it was it spontaneously happened and it spontaneously healed. And it was a very weird thing, Tobe. And I feel that it could have gone way worse, and I was extremely lucky through the whole endeavor.
Okay. And I think I did see a couple photos of it. I can attest to the fact that that injury was kind of in a similar location to where things went south for me. Now, we don't know the nature of what happened to you. We're just saying, hey, there's something that you found after you left here before I talk about my stuff, but you found something about Native Americans talking about the Oak Hole and what exists up there. You found an old article in some microfiche or something. Tell me what you found as to what exists in Oak Hole.
Definitely. So there's, and this is an old, out of an old book from, I want to say 20s or 40s. There was the Native Americans of the area. There were reports that something small was biting them, and the bites would always end up being fatal. Which that can be taken so many ways, but I think that the main thing to realize is that there could be something else happening at the Oak Hole that, you know, if we're in areas like this, we need to be, you know, very aware of if physical things come up to us after we're up there. The group needs to go, or you need to go to a doctor immediately, because if you don't, it could turn into something else extremely quick, I think. I don't know.
Okay. And then after I left the deer carcass, within 72 hours, I noticed that I had a pain on my left leg, to the point where I went to urgent care twice within 24 hours or something like that. And then by the third medical visit, an ER, I was an inpatient for 4 days with some kind of mysterious infection. And nobody knows how it happened. You know, $36,000 later, there I was trying to still figure out and put the puzzle pieces together. Was it a spider bite? You know, was it some kind of weird mystery infection from the deer? You know, I'm a fairly clean guy, so it didn't really make sense.
Did you roll around in it, Tobe?
Yeah, I did. Well, you know, there are some strange fetishes.
A strange infection from the deer?
Yeah. Well, so it just,
Yeah. But
you know, what was weird is, Jeremiah, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together until maybe after I got out of the hospital. But I was in so much pain, and I was so freaked out because I'd never been in the hospital ever for anything. I barely even had, you know, I just never did. So this was my first experience, and they said I was 5 days from organ failure. And so that made no sense to me. Like, I just got back from, you know what I mean, from Thanksgiving, and now so it's very bizarre. And maybe this is just a coincidence, but there are people, including Dr. Travis Taylor from Skinwalker Ranch, the ranch hand there at Skinwalker Ranch. We're speaking of a pretty well-known power spot, that have suffered medical events. In fact, on the show, you have to sign a waiver in perpetuity that you will not sue them for any phenomena or any illness based upon unusual phenomena. And so these are some of the things here that I think are less talked about. I understand how cool it is to experience this stuff here, but obviously, if you guys experience any kind of medical events yourself while you're out there, well, first of all, have any of you experienced any kind of weird health issues? No?
mm-mm.
Okay. Well, that's good. It's interesting that you and I, Jeremiah,
Knock
are
on wood.
both podcasters of some degree, right? Or we're into it for a different reason.
I've thought about that, actually, and I just haven't brought it up. It's like
We're promoting it. We're
where
like pushing
to-
it. Yeah.
right. We got big mouths and we got big
Right.
reach, and
Both with headphones on
were
and our
just
own
talking
mics. Like, we're
I
in
don't
it
know.
for different reasons. Yeah. So now that, you know, I mean, Priscilla, you're going down the same rabbit hole that Jeremiah and myself are here, just cautiously optimistic that things are going to be fine. But, make sure, don't shave your legs and then blame it on the Bigfoots or anything like that. Whatever it takes to have a good sense of humor about this stuff. But anyway, that's it. I don't want to end it on a bummer. So tell me what's coming up here as far as what do you have planned with Jeff and Allie? You guys are headed back home today. Do you guys have it? What's your next adventure?
Mazatlan.
The Mexican restaurant behind us. I mean, today would be a nice day to go up there. It is cold, but the sun is out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
But-
We
we should,
could go up there for an hour or two or something.
yeah.
I think you guys should. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'll let you guys go. Thanks for doing this. And then if you have any opinion about what you heard today, that you agree with, disagree with, any questions, just write it down in the YouTube comments like usual. I'd be curious to know if people can hear what the hell I hear here as far as language.
There's
If you
definitely
don't,
more
I want to know too.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's it for now, guys. Don't forget to check out the tickets at Sasquatch Summerfest, and coming up before Valentine's Day, I hope, will be the names attached to this year's field event in Washington State in the Olympic Peninsula, Olympic Strange Days. The 3 or 4 day campout will be offered for a limited run, probably 30 or less. And so stay tuned for that at olympicstrangedays.com. That's it for me. And I'll talk to you guys later, and we'll see you in the trees, y'all.